We're going to see how to use number-based formatting and filtering, date-based filtering, and also wildcard filtering, right? So now in our previous session, we have seen how do we filter here, right? So another way to do the filter is now if you come here and look at numbers, okay? Now when you selected for dates, the dates you were able to do a lot of functions, colors, and all of those things also here. But for numbers, what do you generally do is you go here and see either you are able to select any specific set of numbers, or you can also choose if this number equals to, let's say, 30. Okay, let's see if there are any 30s here. And now you can see that wherever there is the age bracket is 30, you can actually filter that, right? So before that, what you need to understand is you sorting, you'll be only able to sort by one column, but filter you can have multiple filters, right? So better would be you clear all the filters here for the state. Okay, now you see that there are more 30s. Okay, so what happens is you can do multiple filters. Like for example, you want 30 and you also want people who are based in, let's say, Delhi only, right? So let me just unselect everything, just select Delhi, and I apply filter, right? So multiple filters is possible while you are doing filtering, right? So now if you have to clear filter, you'll have everything that there is 30. Okay, so this is about in number filtering. What we have done is equals, right? Sometimes what you want is you want something greater than 30, or uh, let's say and less than 50, right? And then you apply filtering. So now you have everything from 31 to 50, right? So what if you had to include 30 and 50 also, you would have selected greater than or equal to 30 and less than or equal to 50, right? So now if you apply, you will see that from 30, 31 till 50 also, you'll be able to see that these are visible, right? So this is number based filtering, and you can also do within numbers other options. These are like new options based upon your version of Excel. You may be able to find them or not. Now if you look at top 10, now if I click top 10, this is like a predefined filter. If I select this, it will only, and I click on apply filter, it will pick all the top 10. Like let's say here it is showing you 95 alone. And now if at all, what we have asked is like 10 items, right? You're asking top 10, and then you're asking 10 items here. Okay, now when you click on apply filter, you can see 95 is selected, right? So all of that is there in top 10 will be visible. Now, if at all you want to select above average, okay, and click on apply filter. So what happens in above average is like, let's say the average age, I'm just giving a number. Let's say the average age was, let's say 50 or 52. Above average will bring all the things, all the rows that had above this average, right? So for that matter, if you want to, let's say, clear filters, all the filters here, apply again, and then if you want to check what is the average, you can select all your fields, and you can see that here average is 52. Okay, that was like a random guess. Now let's say when I select in filters above average, above 52, everything will be there, right? And similarly, if I say below average, it will give me everything below the average also. Sometimes this comes helpful. So these are the primarily used number based filters, right? So now once we understand this, now let's understand date based filters also. Now date based filters, let's first clear the number based filters. Now date based filters, if you look at them, what smartly our Excel does is it filters by date, by year, by month. Then it has individual dates. In February it has 2 dates, in March it has so many dates. And instead of you trying to select one date individually, singly, you can actually do date month based filtering also, right? So say I select unselected everything, and I just wanted to see February, and I click apply. Okay, there's only two in February. Let's select March. Okay, and there were so many in March, right? So these are date based filters. In this also you have a few more options, like for example before, and then there is a date icon here. Now if you want to say, because it's all 2020, I'm just going to go back to 2020, and I'm going to say, okay, before August 1st. Okay, and I click apply, and now you can see that you'll have everything that is before August 1st, right? All the March entries also will come here. Okay. Now, similarly, if you want to do after, because there was nothing much that was there after August 1st, right? So because the data itself is till April, right? So maybe you can just change from here to 4 or 3 after March. This will bring up March and April both, right? So let me just select it from here, become that makes it easier. Okay. This is also based upon need based. Like for example, if you want to just say apply, you'll be able to see that. Oh, this is still 2022. Let me just edit it from here itself in text. 2020. Okay. Click on apply filter. Now you can see here all the dates after 2020 March are visible. Basically, this is March and April here. Right. Similarly, you have a few filters which are less frequently used, like today, tomorrow, yesterday. But most of the times, which is what is required is next month, this month, last month. Right. So right now we don't have this month data here, so this will not apply here. Next quarter means like for example from Jan, Feb, March will be one quarter. This will not be like your financial year from April, March, April, May and June. It will be from first quarter will be Jan, Feb, March. Second will be April, May, June, then July, August, September, October, November, December. So that will be the 4 quarters here, right? So you can select next quarter, this quarter, last quarter from here itself. Right? Year to date means 1st of Jan this year till today's date, it will pick up, right? So these are a few date-based filters that can also be applied here within Excel itself. Okay, great. So now we'll also look at our wildcard filtering also options. Okay, now let's look at wildcard based filtering. Right, so let us first go ahead and clear filters. So this interface might be a little different based upon your Excel version also, but then what you have to do, if you have to select, let's say, all of the states, you just want states which have and, the word and between them. Or let's say you have two words, let's say that there's Gujarat, and you also made a mistake, let's say somewhere you wrote as, someone from the team wrote it as JY. So just instead of you, what they might have done is a mistake, a typo. Many places they write it GAY and Gujarat. So they made it like that. So how do you actually identify them, right? So now what you do is there is something called wildcard, which means there's two characters that we'll be using. So what you do, you're going to say begins with, okay, or you can just say contains. Both of these things work. And what you do is you're going to say G, and then you're going to say star, right? And if I'm going to apply this, so what the star means is anything after G, whatever is there, you just share those things. Right now, for example, what, because you selected contains, it's a GA, Chhattisgarh GA, wherever anything after G comes, that it will pick up like GO, anything after G star. When you say star, this means anything after G. Okay. Now, if I instead of contains, I say begins with and applied. Now you'll see wherever there is G and whatever star means anything after G, right? Then G Goa, anything after G. Right. So if, I think that we only have two states which start with G and anything after that, right? So this is called a wild card. This asterisk symbol or star symbol means anything after that particular letter. Okay. So there is another way also to it. Like for example, if you know there's only one character mistake has been done, you can say G question mark RAT. Okay. Which means in the space of place of question mark there could be U or Y or X or anything. Okay, and let's try applying this. Now you'll not see Goa available here, right? Right. So now if let's say even if my filter had let's say let's say X Y Z, whatever is there in the second character, it will, the filter will still pick up. But let, if I'm just going to say my next word here itself, if I'm out of filter, let's say I just made IG, and then if I'm just going to make a filter begins with Gujarat, and I'm just going to say apply, right? So you'll see that this will not go through, right? Okay, now let us go and try this. Oh, choose one. Just have to choose. Say begins with. and say G question mark JARET and apply. Now you can see that that particular thing went off because we are only saying it has to start from G. Only this question mark place if there's any error, any replacement of word that can happen. Let's say there are the two words that are spelled differently. So somewhere two words could also change, right? So in that case, what you can do is in the filter you can have multiple question mark, right? Instead of J, you can just say have another question mark here, which means whatever is there in the third character after G, whatever it say A to Z, 1 to 3, anything is there, that will come up in your filter. Right? So this is how you use your wildcards. Your asterisk symbol means anything after G, and question mark means in that particular letter you have to change, look for anything apart from any character in that particular space. Right? So you can combine it with begins with, contains. So these are two more importantly we use